SGA is one of the coldest players in the NBA, but his off-the-court lifestyle is definitely not what you think. Hit the intro.
Shai gets it, baseline shot, Shai puts it in and walks it off in OKC! Shai so comfortable, so smooth, and he's got himself a game winner.
And tell me if that's not an all-star move.
Before we get into his insane lifestyle, let's run it back to where it all started. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was born on July 12, 1998 in Toronto, Canada. Son of professional athletes Charmaine and Vaughn Alexander. But his mom wasn't just an athlete, she was an Olympian. She ran for Antigua and Barbuda in the 1992 Barcelona Games. And his dad was a hoops junkie. Basketball was in Shai's blood. Growing up in Hamilton, he didn't make the St. Thomas More Junior team in grade 9 and subsequently played on the school's midget squad. He ended up winning team MVP and leading St. Thomas More to the Midget Boys City Championship. He started his high school career in Canada before transferring to Hamilton Heights in Chattanooga, Tennessee. There, he made some noise and exploded onto the radar as a 4-star recruit. Originally committing to Florida, but flipped to Kentucky after they came calling. Now at Kentucky, he didn't start right away, but he grinded, got himself a fresh cut, and took over mid-season. And by March, he was that guy. In the 2018 NCAA tournament, he averaged over 20 points and led Kentucky to the Sweet 16. And then this happened.
Gilgeous-Alexander will foul yet. And here's Gilgeous-Alexander for three. No! It's over!
He missed his final shot, but that performance shot his draft stock through the roof. So let's briefly go over his professional career. Shai was selected 11th overall by the Charlotte Hornets, but he never suited up for them. Minutes later, he was traded to the LA Clippers in exchange for Miles Bridges. That move set the stage. As a rookie, Shai played with poise beyond his years. He averaged nearly 11 points and helped lead the Clippers to the playoffs, where he held his own against a stacked Warriors team. Then came the summer of 2019. The Clippers went all in for Paul George, and to make it happen, they had to give up Shai. He was sent to OKC, and it turned out to be a blessing in disguise. The Thunder had just traded away Russell Westbrook too, so the team was entering a new era. And at just 21 years old, Shai was suddenly the future of the franchise. He stepped up immediately, averaging 19 points a game while playing alongside Chris Paul. The Thunder shocked everyone by making the playoffs. They pushed the Rockets to 7 games in the first round, and Shai showed he wasn't just some long-term project. He was ready now. Then came year 2 in OKC, and the breakout began. With Chris Paul gone, Shai became the #1 option, and he averaged nearly 24 points per game. But the Thunder were tanking and eventually shut him down after 35 games. Still, the league had taken notice. The Thunder doubled down on their belief in him and gave Shai a 5-year, $173 million max extension in August of 2021. Fully guaranteed, no player option, no trade clause, just a straight-up commitment. The 2023 season is when SGA officially became a star. He averaged over 31 points a game, made his first All-Star team, and was named to the All-NBA first team. And he wasn't just getting buckets. He was locking up on defense too. Nearly 2 steals a game. He carried a young OKC squad into the play-in tournament and dropped 32 in a must-win game against the Pelicans. They fell short in the next round, but Shai's stock had skyrocketed. He went on to win the Northern Star Award. And by 2024, the Thunder were ready to win, and Shai led the way.
SGA, piercing, spinning, hanging for the lead, and SGA knocks it down!
He averaged just over 30 a game again, became a 2-time All-Star, and led the league in steals. This time, the Thunder weren't just a fun young team. They were a problem. They won 57 games, second best in the West, and entered the playoffs with real expectations. In the first round, they took down the Pelicans, but came up short to the Mavs in the second round. Still, nobody could deny what had happened. SGA had become one of the best players in the world. Fast forward to the 2025 season, and he hasn't missed a step. He led the entire NBA in scoring and led the Thunder to a franchise record 68 wins. They clinched the Western Conference, and Shai went off in the playoffs. But what we really want to know is, how does he spend his cash? Shai just bought this insane $1.6 million mansion in Oklahoma City, and it's 6,400 square feet of pure luxury. It comes with a massive living room and sliding glass doors that lead to a private balcony and fire pit setup. Upstairs, he's got options. Take the stairs or ride his private in-home elevator to the primary suite. His bedroom comes with a closet built like a boutique, with sneaker shelves and a dressing bench. The home also includes a chef's kitchen and an in-law suite with its own kitchen and balcony, perfect for when the family comes to town. Outside, the backyard is straight-up spa energy. Stone paths, a fountain, fire pit, and secluded greenery. And that's nothing compared to the home he bought the year before. He purchased this insane lakefront mansion for a whopping $6.1 million. Some huge controversy surrounded it, but we'll dive into that soon. He's also seen wearing high-end luxury watches, including a Rolex Day-Date and an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. But his jewelry collection doesn't stop there. Shai rocks a Bulgari Serpenti Viper necklace, an 18-karat gold piece that wraps around his neck like a coiled serpent. And around his neck, you might also catch a Tiffany Essential Pearls necklace, timeless and elegant. On his fingers, Bulgari rings from the B01 and Serpenti collections, bold, sculptural, and made to stand out. And he doesn't stop at the wrist either. His Tiffany & Co. bracelet brings the whole look together with effortless polish. All in all, that's $188,900 worth of luxury jewelry. And while Shai spends big on fashion, real estate, and jewelry, he's also pretty smart with his money. Unlike most NBA stars, Shai represents himself in contract negotiations. With him set to sign a Supermax, he's gonna save $12 million in agent fees. And when it comes to cars, Shai doesn't just drive, he arrives. He owns a Lamborghini Huracan, a low-slung supercar built to turn heads at every stoplight. He also cruises in a Lamborghini Urus, the luxury SUV that feels more like a rocket ship on wheels. Then there's the Mercedes-Benz G63 AMG, the definition of power wrapped in matte black elegance. Then there's the crown jewel, a limited edition Mercedes Maybach S680, designed in partnership with the late fashion icon Virgil Abloh. Only 150 were ever made, with a bold black and tan two-tone finish inside and out. And recently, he pulled up to a Thunder game in a brand new Cybertruck, a futuristic all-electric beast that he flexed on Instagram with the caption, "No offense, but how are you supposed to defend this?" Altogether, Shai's car collection is worth $1.4 million, but he's not hurting for money. Off the court, brands like Skims, Canada Goose, and Converse have made him the 42nd highest paid athlete in the world, pulling in a cool $18 million a year from endorsements. Now, how about we take a look into his personal life? Shai met Haley Summers in 2017, connecting through their shared Canadian roots and athletic pursuits. Haley also grew up in Ontario and served as team captain for the University at Albany's women's soccer team. After 6 years together, they got married on February 14, 2024 in a private ceremony. 2 months later, they welcomed their first child, a son named Aries Alexander. They also took into their home a Doberman named Echo. Haley has been a steadfast supporter of Shai's basketball career, often attending his games and offering constructive feedback. Alright, I know we mentioned before that he comes from an insane lineage of athletes, but it's wilder than you think. Shai's younger brother, Thomasy, played college ball at Evansville and Northeastern Oklahoma A&M, just proving the basketball DNA runs pretty deep. Then there's his cousin, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a current NBA guard for the Timberwolves and a former first-round pick. These two aren't just cousins, they're basically brothers. In fact, they grew up together and even shared a room while living with their high school coach, Zach Farrell. Two future NBA stars under one roof, pushing each other every day. And in the league, they've already gone head-to-head, trading buckets in one of the most personal matchups we've ever seen. Additionally, Shai has a strong interest in fashion. He made his runway debut at the Tom Brown Show during Paris Men's Fashion Week and attended shows from brands like Givenchy and Louis Vuitton. Now, for some moments that caused some waves in his career. As Shai's scoring has surged, a few coaches griped about his knack for drawing fouls, labeling him a foul baiter who lives at the free throw line. Most recently, he faced some backlash after a game against the Timberwolves. After a tough loss, Timberwolves coach Chris Finch didn't hold back, calling out the refs for giving SGA the superstar whistle.
It's so frustrating to play this team because they foul a ton, and then, you can't really touch Shai.
And he wasn't alone. Fans lit up Twitter, blasting the officiating and accusing Shai of ruining the game with how easily he draws contact. The following month, Pistons head coach JB Bickerstaff had something similar to say.
The least that they could do is get the same respect that everybody else in this league gets and get refereed the same way that everybody else in this league gets ref.
Whether it's smart basketball or foul baiting, one thing's clear: SGA has the league's attention, and not everyone's loving it. But what happened at his house will make you question everything. SGA's dream home? It turned into a real-life nightmare. The OKC star bought an $8.45 million lakefront mansion in Burlington, Ontario, a luxury pad that happened to be the former haunt of self-proclaimed crypto king Aiden Pleterski, a bankrupt crypto trader. Just 4 days after moving in, an uninvited stranger showed up demanding Pleterski's whereabouts and refused to leave. Shai and his girlfriend quickly learned the house had a dangerous backstory. Pleterski allegedly defrauded investors of millions, and angry victims have been making threatening visits, even vowing to burn the place down. Fearing for their safety, Shai fled his new home within days, then took the battle to court. He sued the seller for failing to mention the security threats. The mansion was advertised as private and secure, despite the daily angry visitors looking for payback. A judge agreed the sellers fraudulently misrepresented the property, voiding the sale and awarding Shai damages. Now, at this point, you gotta be getting excited about his career earnings. SGA is on the verge of signing a massive Supermax extension, so we're sure his net worth is gonna rise. Having said that, his total career earnings to date are $117,084,613. Thanks for watching.